to Bad Larry.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry, and today we have a new release, X-Men number 4 from Jed MacKay, and hopefully just a guest artist, Nito Diaz. The title of this issue is Upstarts. Not very clever, but they are the antagonists of this issue, so it's right on the nose. Now, let's rate that cover. I know I may seem a bit harsh on this cover with only an 80% rating, a B-, but it is so basic, especially with modern technology. The ability to make amazing covers using amazing colors using the computer, especially when you see the cover for issue number 5 coming out soon. This cover shows the Juggernaut busting through a wall as an image as shown on a smartphone. I know it seems clever, but it's too basic. You know I'm right. As the main primary cover, it is just lacking. So, who is in this issue that you may not know or need a quick refresher on? Trevor Fitzroy, with the green hair and green Robin Hood style mustache and goatee, is a mutant with teleportation powers. His teleportations look like discs, just like Magic's, but he can also teleport things from the past back into the present. He is also a crazy dude. He leads a team of upstarts, mutants who are out there looking to kill other mutants for clicks. We have here Ocelot, covered in fur like Beast, with cat-like powers, hyper reflexes, speed, and claws. Orifice, ugly as, his eyes and mouth are vertical on his face, and he can shoot some green energy blasts out of his mouth. And Orbit, also ugly as, well, he can fly, and he has these colorful balls always orbiting around his head, no D. And these balls, creates vertigo in his opponents. Magic alone is playing chess with an unknown opponent, sending each move over the phone. Even before seeing the end of this issue, I knew that it was Colossus she was playing. It is obvious if you're an X-Men fan. She has such a strong connection to her brother, and there always needs to be that connection shown in the comics. Magic is not what you would call an optimist, though. First, she's Russian, so that automatically makes her a little cold and hard as hell. And speaking of hell, she's had ruled limbo, dealing with demons and all that, so she is at best a realist. When playing the game, she states that her goal is to, quote, keep from losing for as long as possible, end quote. She's not talking about chess here, but actual survival in the actual world. But she's a real G, and she's always ready for battle. And when Cyclops calls the troops to formation, she knows it's about to go down. Trevor Fitzroy is a megalomaniac. He is a mutant, but he doesn't care if the mutants hate him. He turns that hate into opportunity. With social media and knowing the human nature, loving drama, he tells the world he will hunt down these mutants for likes and clicks, which is just diabolical. The problem with his brazen and bold plan is that he must put it out there for all to see. Well, Cyclops sees. I told y'all in previous issues that Cyclops' X-Men's main goal, their main priority, is to find, save, and train these new mutants. I highlighted the visor here on Cyclops. Nito Diaz obviously didn't check all the details regarding some of these character designs and changes. Diaz drew the visor the typical way, when this series has Cyclops showing 2 glowing red eyes. It's a small art flaw, but for someone like me, it's a bit annoying, keeping the consistency from artist to artist. Another sort of odd element here is how Jed MacKay decides Cyclops will stay behind at the base and send Beast into the field on this mission. Cyclops, even though he is the field team leader, the best by far, delegates his role to stay at the base and monitor Psylocke and Quentin, who are on a psychic recovery at the moment. I initially thought this was a weak sauce excuse to have Beast eventually go toe-to-toe with Ocelot, but the reason is a lot more substantial. Remember, Cyclops saved a powerful mutant who can create powerful illusions, but is now in a coma. Even though Cyclops himself isn't a psychic, he is married to one of the most powerful telepaths in the world, and learned and trained with her to master his own mind and how to help fellow mutants who can have a mental block. Plus, he wants to be there if and when Quentin and Psylocke psychically recover this mutant and properly present himself in the X-Men as a haven. So Cyclops made a valid leadership decision and I support it. Beast is being a big crybaby. I got important stuff to do, blah blah blah. I don't want to go to the field, boo hoo hoo. Cyclops delegates his field team leader role to Magic, who was a team leader with the New Mutants, and she immediately puts Beast in his place. And I love how Cyclops tells Beast to man up, but X-Man up. You get that? Very cool. Beast is very pouty, and I am rolling. This fishy-faced, green-haired mutant gal, her name is Jennifer Starkey. She's an adult who developed mutant powers just recently and is running for her life from Fitzroy and his Upstarts. This crazy son of a bitch wants to literally rip her heart out. Sick. And boom goes the dynamite. The X-Men says, "Not today, Junior." McKay is clever to make this battle a 4v4. It seems even Steven. Let's see who takes the dub. Fitzroy, the Sicko, only cares about views, likes, and clicks, similar to some of these outrageous live streamers out there. I'm not saying all social media is bad, heck, I'm using it right now. But when it is someone's whole life, it is out of balance. That's what McKay is showing here. You see some of these people out here knocking people out for views, or pranking people in a horrible way, or just being a general menace to society, all for views. Well, McKay is mocking these people using Fitzroy, who's about to kill a mutant live for views. He is attacking that sick culture. And Magic, she is too professional. No banter, she's a real soldier. It's all about the mission for her and these X-Men. The art here is pretty cool. Fitzroy teleporting in some volcano lava to attack Magic. It's a cool idea, teleporter versus teleporter, who can use very similar powers and come out the better. Another clever use of character strengths and weaknesses, I would think Juggernaut alone is enough here to solve almost every issue. But here in this instance, Orbit uses his colorful balls, to create vertigo and his power of flight to keep Jugs here ineffective. With Juggernaut, the heavy, too dizzy to stand on his feet, we transfer over to Beast, uncovering his opponent's names and mocking them relentlessly at the same time, because Beast is super duper smart and annoyed he's even has to be in the field. It is funny that all the Upstarts names start with O. Beast is not only smart, but agile as shit. Maybe not as agile as Spider-Man, but probably pretty close. Beast tricks Orpheus here in mouth blasting his own teammate, nudity, and he must be thinking, "Oh no, too slow." I don't know exactly how powerful this green bad breath mouth energy blast is, seeing Orpheus seemingly let out what looks like a high effort blast, but it clearly didn't kill or disintegrate Orbit, so it would have been interesting to have seen Cyclops go up against Orpheus and have his optic blast severely overpower Orpheus' blast, but that's not what we get to see here. Now that Orbit is out for the moment, Jugs is back in the fight and goes after Ocelot. But Ocelot has those cat-like reflexes and easily dodges Juggernaut and counterattacks Beast from the back, nudity. And this is what I wanted to see. Furry blue mutant versus furry brown mutant. Magic has done her job. She's kept Fitzroy focused on her, battling her, taking his focus off the mission, the newly developed mutant Jennifer Starkey. I like the idea of having Temper being the extraction soldier. She needed saving as a child, and now she is saving people, especially people like Jennifer, who I would think would be classified as an Epsilon level mutant. And here, Jennifer thinks that they will have no place anymore in society because Temper knows what it's like being bullied by humans and even mutants, especially on Krakoa, and being kicked out of society. Orpheus energy blasts are potent, sure, but that can't stop the Juggernaut. Even if this freaky Upstart's eyes are vertical, they can still show fear. This is what I wanted to see. Beast let loose. It only takes 3 frames to show he is the superior Beastman. Beast has done this for far too long, and quickly puts down his brown, furry kitty cat mutant opponent. I also like how McKay uses Fitzroy to mock media, social media. Fitzroy knows he and his team took the major L, but he will spin the narrative and edit the footage to make it look like he won. Typical. What is scary is seeing these young people all with the Upstarts happy face logo pins on their bags. We know they're young people because they look like they're going to school with their backpacks, and then a young person tagging a brick wall with the Upstarts logo. Well, we know typically young people are the ones doing the tagging, and it is showing that unfortunately Fitzroy's sick message and platform is taking root with the human youth, which is scary. Fitzroy teleports him and his team to their headquarters, showing a bunch of body parts and suspended animation. Sick! And we see the follow-up with social media, the outcome of their battle with the X-Men, which is fake news. We see someone is pulling the strings of the Upstarts team. Someone is even directing Fitzroy. This person is some sort of sicko who wants mutants to cut up and put in these jars. I had to laugh when Fitzroy offers up his own teammate, Orpheus, saying he is so hard to look at. So funny. It also shows Fitzroy doesn't really give a flip about his team. He's a dirtbag. The sicko pulling the strings of Fitzroy and the Upstarts is indeed the Sugar Man. I bet you he hates it when people ask him to lend him a hand. Har har har. Sugar Man's goal is to find out why people are becoming mutants late in life, not just in their teens. He wants to get control of that somehow. Why, I don't really know yet. Even though Magic was field leader on this mission, Beast is still number 2 overall for this X-Men run, and Cyclops needs an update from his number 2. I like Beast being a bit of a smartass. Cyclops is somehow shocked that Fitzroy and his team got away, and Beast says, yeah, he's a teleporter, he got away. Duh. It's funny. Beast also gives high praise for Magic's effectiveness in the field. I doubt Cyclops would actually be worried about that at all. Magic's ability to run a team in the field. But I guess McKay had to fill in those last 3 frames of this scene. I am not a big fan of how Diaz has drawn Magic here. I think she's a bit too thick and looks a bit too old, but either way, we see her go back to her chess game with her opponent via text, and we see it's clearly Colossus's hand making the moves, showing Magic and Colossus are still connected, and will always stay connected. Their familial bonds are too strong. But we also see Magic doesn't have a generally positive attitude. And we get a sneak peek at the cover of next X-Men's issue, number 5, and I can tell you it looks awesome, and I'm excited for it. I rated this issue an 89% B+. I think the positives are bringing in characters the audience haven't seen in a long time, like Fitzroy and his team, and then bringing in the Sugar Man as the next main villain. That's pretty cool. There are so many interesting characters out there, and they just sit on the shelf collecting dust from the writers. But McKay dusts them off and breathes life back into them, which is very cool. The battle between the X-Men and the Upstarts was cool, but not super great. It was fun seeing a furry beast man fight another furry beast man, seeing a teleporter battle another teleporter. That was quite cool, but I never really felt like the X-Men were ever in that much trouble. The dialogue at the end between Beast and Cyclops seemed forced, and the internal dialogue of Magic in the beginning and the end of this book was not really needed in my opinion. And I wasn't a super big fan of some of the art directions taken by Diaz on this book, so for those reasons, I give this issue an 89. But let me know what you think of this comic down in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you real soon. Peace!